Let's have a look at a patent document so we can familiarize ourselves with how they're organized. I've got here a US patent along with the corresponding patent application. The document we're looking at is a facsimile of the paper document that the Patent Office issues to the inventor. When you imagine a patent document, you probably think of something that looks just about like this. When we get into searching, we will mostly be looking at electronic versions that have the same information, just organized a little bit differently. This is a patent for a water container cap for holding additives in water. Up top is the patent number, and for published patent applications, the publication number is going to be up here in the upper right corner, and it's the year of publication followed by a 7-digit number. That's the title right here. This is to two inventors, Ricky and Rebecca Anson of Boise, Idaho. Their company, their assignee, is Nutrilife. The assignee is the owner of the patent if that owner is not the inventor. Patents can change ownership many times over their lives. However, this information that's listed here on the cover is never updated. So if you want to find the current owner of a patent, you have to check in the USPTO assignment database, which we're going to look at in a later video. And then we have the classification. Classification is the ordering system for patents, sort of like a Dewey Decimal System. All patents go into classifications, usually more than one, based on their claims. That's an important distinction that we'll get into more when we're looking at classification-based searching. There are a few different numbering schemes that you'll see here for the different classification systems. There is International Patent Classification, IPC, which is used by patent offices around the world. The US classification, this is an older system previously used by the USPTO for classifying patent documents. It's being phased out. Missing from this copy of the document is the Cooperative Patent Classification. This is the new kid on the block. This is the system that is taking over for US patents and for patents all over the world. And it's what we're going to be using in the search. Although it's not listed here, it will be in the electronic versions of these documents. So we'll always have access to it. Next are the citations. And this is the list of references that the patent examiner cited in the examination process. Citations can be a useful resource in your search because they're all the references that the examiner thought were close, and we'll be spending some time on citation searching when we get into the search. The abstract is a brief description of the invention. They're supposed to be 150 words or less and provide a succinct summary of the invention. In the early stages of your search, this is usually the only bit of text that you'll need to read, and the rest of the page is for the figure. The figure on the cover sheet should be the most descriptive of the figures, showing pretty much the entire invention. Like the abstract, when you're doing the early stage searching, this figure is usually the only thing you'll need to look at. After the cover sheet are the drawings. Probably the most iconic part of the patent are these black and white line drawings. Utility patents have figure and part numbers, and the corresponding descriptions are in the specification. Below the drawings are the written specification and claims. The spec includes a written description of the invention that is supposed to be detailed enough that a person of ordinary skill in the art, in this case a person skilled in the art of making water bottles, would be able to make and use the invention. Throughout the detailed description, the figure and part numbers from the drawings will be used to relate things together. Up top, before getting into the description, we see that the inventors claim priority to two previously filed patent applications. So this patent is part of a little family. And then there is the description of the background of the invention, stating the general subject matter. There is also a description of the related art, where the inventors describe the problem they're trying to solve. They want to make a case that there is a problem out there. In this case, it's how do you put additives into bottles of water, and that the previous attempts to solve the problem haven't worked out. Although they don't do it here, it's pretty common for applicants to list out specific patents and patent applications attempting to solve the problem at hand. Here's an example from another patent where they do just that. The applicant lists out specific patents in the art area, and then they go on to describe their features. What they're really trying to do is show that none of the patents out there are as good as what they're about to show. You can think of it as a classic rhetorical device. You're setting them up and then you're knocking them down. I also wanted to draw attention to this because this is an example of someone showing their research right in their application. Down past the description, the patent concludes with the claims, which are the most succinct possible description of what the inventor invented and therefore what they own. Claims can be very confusing to understand in general and in specific cases, but luckily we're not going to pay much attention to them in this course. Claims describe what the inventor owns, but it's in the drawings and specifications that we get the whole picture of the prior art. So yes, claims are important. We'll be doing whole courses on claim analysis and writing later on, but for prior art searching, we're going to focus on specs and